Hey everyone, this is Melanie and Chris here, and in this video we're going to share with you how we paid off our mortgage in 7 years instead of 30.
So I remember when we had to apply for our mortgage first and get that done, and all the work we did to get the mortgage and get applied, because we were business owners, and so it was harder to get that mortgage approved.
Yes.
And I remember we had to pay like insurance and all these different extra fees and stuff like that. So it wasn't even just our mortgage. There's a lot more stuff added on.
Yeah.
And I think the first thing that couples or anybody needs to get right first to pay off your mortgage early is to get focused and have a plan and a goal in mind.
And to be in agreement.
Yeah, and to be in agreement.
As a couple, yeah.
Because we had to sacrifice some things to get, focused on this so that we could achieve this goal.
Oh yeah, huge things.
So getting on the same page is number one. Number two is there's this thing where you can pay twice on your mortgage with like double up payments. All right, so if you're paying like $1,400 a month, I think you can do a double up payment. And you got to check with your who you got your mortgage through, that you can do an extra payment of that $1,400. So you're paying twice, right? So that's the first thing that you can do. Tell them about the other one, the BiWeekly or whatever.
Yeah,
it is.
the BiWeekly payments. This is something else that a lot of banks may or may not even mention. But instead of just paying your mortgage once a month, you can actually pay it twice, and you kind of divide it in half. And what it does is, if you look at it over the long haul, what it does is actually lowers your interest. Huge.
Yeah.
Because what people may or may not really realize is that mortgage payment you're paying every month, a lot of it is actually just interest. And a little percentage of it is actually your principal, which is the actual amount you borrowed. And see, banks love it when we have mortgages for 30 years, because then they're making money off us like tooth and nail, right? They're making so much money off of us, and they want that because frankly that's how they make money. And so when you shorten that and you actually bring the interest down, that's why they may or may not tell you about it, because, and not to say anything bad about banks because they're doing their job, but it actually will lower your payments overall.
Yeah, big time, because every time you make that extra payment, you're attacking the principal more, and so the interest is not so high. And if you look at your amortization of the schedule, notice year one you paid this amount of interest and only this amount of principal, but then year two you'll pay a little bit more down on the principal and then not as much interest. But if you want to pay that off even faster, the third way is not just double ups, but bi-weekly, but then lump sums. And so instead of going on that vacation or buying whatever fancy thing that you want to buy, save up some money and do a lump sum payment where you can talk to your bank and make a payment. I think it's up to 10% or 15% of your mortgage.
Depending on your bank.
Yeah,
and what
depending on
kind
your
of
bank.
a deal you have. Yeah.
Yeah, because if your mortgage is $100,000, that means that you'd be able to pay up to $10,000 within that year. Or if it's 15% you're allowed to pay up to, that would be $15,000, right? But it's only once a year you're allowed to do that. And so sometimes they only let you make one payment, so you want to make sure it's a big chunk, where some banks will allow you to pay, multiple lump sum payments, but you can make, but only up to the 10 or 15%. So you got to really check on that. But by doing that stuff, man, we paid off our mortgage fast doing that, right?
And I mean, you guys, you're working hard. Maybe you get like a bonus at work, or maybe you get some sort of a royalty payment for something that you've created, or whatever it might be. Maybe an inheritance. I mean, it could be anything. But instead of going, woohoo, we've got all this extra cash, let's blow it, right? Like move yourself forward. And what happens is when you eliminate your mortgage payment, that's when you finally can do, all the things that you're talking about doing, maybe the nice vacations or the extra perks, right? You open up such a massive amount of income when you get rid of your mortgage. It's amazing. Yeah,
and so we're actually reading and sharing from our book, From Red to Black, all right, sharing how we went from 30,000 plus, credit card debt, mortgage, all this stuff, to being completely debt free and financial freedom. And we wrote this book for you guys because we know it'll change your life. It's free. All you got to do is click the link below this video, just cover the shipping and handling, and we'll send this right out to you.